Hello, my name is Ted Wynne. I'm the Newton County Extension Agent. I work for the University of Georgia College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences in the Extension Department, and also I work for the Newton County Commission. I've been asked to come and talk to you a little bit about Extension and what we offer in the Extension office. First of all, our office is going to be located in the Administration Building here in Covington, Suite 202, so we have quite a good bit of information that's researched information from the University of Georgia College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. This information is accurate information, and we have publications and presentations that we offer to the public. So if you have questions in many different things, we could possibly answer them for you. Today I want to maybe give you some tips on maybe growing things for gardens. And one of the biggest things that most everybody has is a tomato plant. Growing tips for tomatoes, and what I'm thinking is going to be happening in the next few days when it comes to growing tomatoes. But one of the things that you really should be focusing on is going to be tomato selections. When you select the tomato plant, when you go to the department stores or also garden centers, you need to be thinking about selecting the right variety and also the plant that's not going to have a tomato on it already. That's pretty much a no-no. We need one that's going to be short and stocky, so to speak, and one that's actually pretty fairly young. We do not want one, if it has one that has blooms on it and has a small tomato on it, leave that one on the shelf because that one's not going to produce very well for you. So we need one that does not have any of those, but also has a good color, no spots on the leaves and those kind of things. One thing that I'm expecting to happen in the next few days with the tomato plants that have already gone into the garden is, since we've had cool weather and cool nights, I'm expecting people for their first tomatoes to come off looking scarred up and having bad spots on them. That's called cat facing. The cat facing is when the blooms actually stick onto the tomatoes, and once they're fully green and fully ripened, they'll actually have scar tissue on it from that. So I expect that to happen. I also expect, because it's raining when I was walking in just a few moments ago, I'm going to see a tremendous amount of early blight that's going to be happening. That's a fungal disease that gets on the lower leaves, and it will start progressing up the stems until the point where there's hardly any leaves, but you'll have green fruit on them. So you need to start preventing that now if you do not want to see that later on your tomato plants. One of the things that you could do is going to be mulch that plant with some organic matter or something like pine straw or wheat straw or even leaves, ground up leaves from last year's trees. That will help prevent some of the splashing of the disease onto the lower leaves first. You could also, when you're going to select a variety, select one that has resistance to anthracnose or has an A on the label. That A is the disease anthracnose, and it has or shows resistance. It doesn't mean it will not get it, but it means that it will be delayed and fight against that particular disease at some time when we have this wet weather. Also, spacing. You should be spacing your tomatoes out, not putting them real close together. One of the reasons why you want to face it is because you want greater ventilation. Ventilation meaning that it's going to dry out quicker after we have these showers during the day. That's going to help prevent some of these diseases occurring. Once you do a lot of these kind of cultural practices, you also, if it continues to rain a lot, you may want to start out and start spraying with a fungicide spray even when after you transplant. So that's something you may want to think about, whether it's an organic fungicide preventative or even a non-organic fungicide preventative. You need to start now because we're getting infection now and it starts showing up several weeks later. And it's hard to stop once you have it. We have some great publications and also services that you could actually look for. One of the things is going to be a soil test. We don't want soil fertility to be a limiting factor. So our office will actually provide soil testing that goes through the University of Georgia's laboratories, and you could actually bring us soil samples that are from your garden in 8 to 10 different spots that go down to 4 inches deep and bring it in a plastic bag to the extension office, and we'll send it off. You'll get in about 5 days, you'll get a report through email or the mail, whichever you prefer, and it will tell you what your fertility levels are and what you need to do to have a good crop. So that's a great service that I would not do it without it. And finally, while you're there in the extension office, we have some really nice publication information that is research. This one is one for growing tomatoes that one of our specialists, Robert Westerfield, he's over at the Griffin Experiment Station. He put this publication together on researched information that shows varieties, how to fertilize real well, and even disease pressure and things that you need to try to prevent. So you can have actually a really healthy, nice, tasty tomato crop that's coming up. Thanks.